What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders. As you can see from the picture here, started joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens today. You see our rookie first-round pick, Emmanuel Forbes, going mano-a-mano with Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ himself, in a day that got very testy off rip, and it's to be expected. My expectations for Washington going into these joint practices was just look like you belong. This is one of the better run organizations in the National Football League. Their training facility looks beautiful. Their practice jerseys are done. Their front office down to their head coaching staff all move in lockstep. And they're just an organization that you want your organization to move like the Baltimore Ravens. And for them finally welcoming us down the Beltway to come up to the Under Armour Performing Center in Owings Mill to join them for practice. They never invited us before when Dan was the owner, but they see we're under new management now. They invited us up north, and my only thing I wanted out of Washington was don't stink up the joint and look like you belong with a Super Bowl contending Baltimore Ravens team with the aspirations of nothing more than to compete for a Super Bowl with their MVP quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who they paid $260 million. And from all the reports I've seen today, Washington went out there, competed, took it to them, and we went blow for blow with the Baltimore Ravens the entire day. It was a mano-a-mano practice. No one technically won the day, but based on everything that I've seen, if there was a winner of the day, if you will, it was Washington, because nobody expected them to be that way. And how I gauge how we did in practice was by how Baltimore media and what the temperature looked like on Baltimore timelines. I made sure I went on a following spree this week to as many Baltimore media outlets that were going to be present at the practice, because all our Washington guys are not there. And fan-wise, most of the fan attendance was probably Ravens fans, since the tickets went up on the Ravens site and went almost immediately after they popped up for sale on SeatGeek. But I'm looking at Jonas Schaefer. I'm looking at Quadre Ishmael's comments on the B. Mitch and Finley show. I'm looking at Aaron Johannes and Sean Stepner, and they've spoken highly of Washington. Jonas Schaefer, who was present at practice, said day one is wrapping up here. Pretty fair fight between the Ravens defense and Commanders offense. I had Sam Howell at 12 for 15 in 11-on-11 work, with most of his throws in the short to intermediate range. That is music to my ears. Ben Standig tweet from Marlon Humphrey, Pro Bowl, probably soon to be all-pro corner of the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not even going to lie. Sam Howell looked really comfortable out there today. Quadre Ishmael, when talking to JP Finley about the offense's performance in practice today, he said the O-line looked very clean. They looked really good. And he said Washington matched the intensity of the Baltimore Ravens, and in most cases, out-physicaled them. Our O-line played outstanding. They performed well. And London Fletcher said Sadiq Charles had a really impressive day today. So there got to be a reason why they're maintaining their consistency of keeping them with the ones despite the injuries so far. But key theme football-wise from today's practice, Sam Howell belongs, because as you see all the young quarterbacks being touted and named starter for week one for their franchise, expect that announcement coming soon for Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders. I said after Ravens week, we'll probably hear from Ron that Sam's been the week one starter, even though we already know what the vibes are out here in Washington. But 12 for 15, most of the passes being short to intermediate. Sam's biggest strength is his deep ball. He throws that beautiful Russell Wilson moon ball. Beauty of a deep ball. One of the best deep ball passers college has seen in the last 5 to 7 years. So hearing that his strength and that he was sharp out of short and intermediate, that's beautiful, because that's the intricacies of a West Coast offense. Matriculate the ball, dink and dunk the ball up the field, stretch them out so then you can hit them over the top. So Sam Howell had a good day and impressed. And I can see the temperature on the Ravens timeline. They're surprised at how poised and how comfortable Sam Howell looked. They're like, wow, there's something to this Howell kid. This Howell kid's pretty good. What they weren't surprised about, our wide receivers get busy. I'm taking our wide receiver trio over Baltimore's all day, every day, and twice on Sunday afternoon. Sam Howell is throwing it to Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and Jahan Dotson, and in one-on-ones, they was getting busy. I seen Dotson put Rocky Sin in a blender. I seen Terry working on Marlon Humphrey. I seen Curtis Samuel mixing cats up. And one-on-ones that are drawn up for the offensive player to win, we did our part. We came, we saw, we conquered, and we went toe-to-toe with the Baltimore Ravens today. Emmanuel Forbes, as you can see in this picture, may be accused of PI because he's touching the receiver before the ball gets there, but he had a good day. He was running for Odell hip for hip the entire day, had him some pass breakups, and he got in a squabble. He was ready to throw them dukes and throw them bows today. We came to Baltimore with black Air Force One energy. They must have been playing Nuck If You Buck at the Under Armour Performance Center because we was ready to mix it up with them boys today. Tylan Wallace, former Oklahoma State receiver, 4th round draft pick in 2021. Got an attitude at how handsy Forbes was guarding him up the field and decided to strike him on his face mask. And Forbes hit him right back, and then all hell broke loose after that. Tylan Wallace, where do you have the gall, the balls, and the audacity to come at our 1st round draft pick? Emmanuel Forbes has more chains on than you have catches in the NFL in your 2-year career. Why do you want smoke of all people? We'll get to Mark Andrews because I'm not even going to give Tylan Wallace that much time because why is he starting skirmishes? I don't agree with Mark Andrews moving, but at least he has up the statistical equity and cachet of being a star tight end to start a fight. He decided to pull up on Danny Johnson and body slam him from behind. I don't know why you're picking on number 4 cornerbacks, Mark Andrews. Maybe there's a screw loose or two, but them boys started mixing it up. Deron Payne told that man Mark Andrews to take his helmet off. Take your helmet off and let's squabble. And all hell broke loose. Morgan Moses was power bombing dudes, which is more than I can say that he gave us as a tackle here in Washington. Like Morgan Moses, though. Good guy in the community. Very average tackle. Moving on. They were squabbling. There was a few tackles. You know Baltimore was getting on our nerves when they had Terry out there cursing. Terry on the field is a different guy. Amazing guy in the community. Amazing ambassador for your program. But on the field, he gets busy and he talks that shit and he cusses all the time. Watch Terry mic'd up if you don't believe me. Terry told somebody, fuck out of here, boy. Fuck no. It's too easy. He was talking shit after every catch the wide receivers were making. But day one, I'm keeping short and sweet. I'll be home later for my stream later for the NFC East Roundtable. Kyle Pizzle, Mark Holmes, and Philly 500. We're going to talk all the NFC East shit. But I just wanted to give you my quick takeaways from what I see on the timeline and what I'm reading from Baltimore media and Washington media based on practice because I was not able to attend. Not only was I able to not secure a ticket, I worked today, so this will be coming to you live from the break room of Rio's job. But that's all I got for right now. Washington, toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano, neck and neck with the Super Bowl contending Baltimore Ravens on day one of joint practices. Expect to hear about more fights, expect to get messy, and expect to hear more even play offensively and defensively on day 2 of joint practices. And expect next Monday to be the most lit preseason game in Washington Commanders Redskins football team history when the Ravens come to town on Monday Night Football, the ESPN crew and Josh Harris's first home game as the owner and managing partner of the Washington Commanders. The Ravens are coming in with the historic 24-game preseason win streak. It's time to put that down. I don't care about winning preseason games, but I want this one for selfish reasons. Day 1, joint practices in the books. Roundtable, NFC East style, coming at you later this evening. That's all I got for right now. Commander Rio Robinson checking out. Talk to you later. Deuces.